Hello, welcome to the second part of this QuickBooks presentation. In this second part, we are going to see how to use QuickBooks Online. In the previous video, we saw how to create a new company in QuickBooks. We saw the different packages of QuickBooks, and we created a company and started some settings. Today, we are going to see the processes in the usage of QuickBooks Online. So, for you to start, you have to log into the QuickBooks account you earlier created. So you can just get to your browser and look for QuickBooks Online login. So you can choose any of these options. I'm just going to take the first option. From here, it will take you to the QuickBooks Online website. You come to sign in and you take QuickBooks Online. From here, you will have to put your email in order to log in. If the email that appears here it's not the email of the company you want to open, then you can take add and not use another username. So, but this is the email I want to use to log in, which is the email I used to create the company recently. I will take to log in. From here, I put my password, the password I earlier entered in the creation of this company, and I click continue. So QuickBooks is going to sign you into your company file. Good. So the company we created was Profess Shopping, and here we are. In our previous video, we went to the gear icon and had to make some settings in account and settings. So there is a link in the description to check on the video, on the previous video. So I'm just gonna close this, and here is the dashboard, which is not going to show much because we've not yet done much in the company file. So we're just going to take a quick process or a quick scenario in the usage of a QuickBooks Online in a company in order to manage stock, in order to manage incomes and expenses, in order to manage sales, and in order to prepare financial reports in QuickBooks Online. So I will assume that at Profess Shopping we sell some products. Actually, we do sell these products, and for us to sell this product, we should first of all have them in stock. And for us to have them in stock, we should first of all have the possibility of having the items as item lines. That is why I need to get a way to create the items that we do sell in the business. The item can be in the form of a product or in the form of a service. So in your company file, if you come to this new button, you have a lot of options inside in terms of customers, suppliers, employee, orders. In customers, you can have the possibility to create an invoice, receive payments, and all the like. Also, you can have the possibility to enter expenses and anything that is related to suppliers. But I need to create the products, the items I am doing business with. I am actually selling in the business or the services I'm selling. But before we get to all of those, we need to check on the chart of account and set up the chart of account so that it works for us. Already, QuickBooks has prepared a chart of account, a default chart of account in the company file based on the industry we earlier selected. So by coming to the gear icon, I can check on the chart of account. Already there are some accounts names inside which can already help us to do whatsoever we want to do in the software. All you need to do is to adjust it in order to work for the type of activity you're actually dealing with. So we have already some accounts there. If you want to create a new account, you could just take new, and you have the possibility to add a new account. Remember, here the accounts are in terms of account names, and what will guide this account is the account type. You could equally import your accounting plan in the software. For you to import, you could just take this drop down list and take import. But if you want just to create a new account, you just take new, and from here you specify the account type, and you give the detailed type and put the name. So here I'm going to create an income account. I'm going to create an income account as detailed. I'm going to take sales of product income, and I just want the name to be sales of product income. If I want to change this name, I'm going to change it. You're going to see later on why I am creating this account. I can put the description and make this account the sub account of another account. So in QuickBooks, you can actually manage sub accounts. But if I do not want to make this account a sub account, then I'm just gonna leave it this way, save and close, or take this drop down list and take save and new if I want to create another one. Like I'm just going to take save and new, so I can create another income account which I'm going to use soon. Okay, take save and new. The next account I'm going to create, another account already exists. Okay, there is already an account that exists with this name, so this account already exists. I'm just going to create another income account to be sales, or let me just say income from services. Yes, so I can have income from services. I'm going to select the detail type here, service fee income. So I'm just going to call it income from services. You're going to see how we'll be using this account. So account is well created, so I'm just going to close this. So this way you can edit any account from here, or delete some accounts, though there will be some accounts you will not have the possibility to delete. So from here I will go back to the gear icon, and here you can see under list, all list, then there is equally products and services. So this way I can easily get to creating my products and services I do sell in this business. However, you need to know that in QuickBooks you can create all that which you need anywhere you are. It means if I was, for example, in a sales form or in a purchase form, I will have the possibility to create a product or a service. But I could also come to the gear icon and take product and services and create a product or a service. Here I am going to create some few products we do sell, for example, in Profess Shopping. Page loading, good. Add your products and services to save time creating your next invoice or receipt. So I'm going to take add product or service. So when I take add product or service, QuickBooks is going to ask me what exactly do I want to create. Is it an inventory product, non-inventory product, service, bundle? Sure, I'll have to specify what type of product I am creating. Inventory product will be that type of product we will want to track inventory of, like knowing how many units were bought, how many units were sold, how many units are left. Good. Non-inventory products are those products I can't really track inventory on, or I don't want to track inventory of. It could be any kind of product. You have services which are non-inventory products. It's just a service you render into somebody, like a consultation, like a tax preparation service. And then you have bundles, a collection of products or services that you sell together. For example, give baskets of fruit, cheese, and wine. So in this case, you will have to create inventory products or services combined. Might be you have both inventory product, both services that you want to join as a package. For you to create a bundle, the services and the products you want to put in that bundle should already exist. In this case, I'll start by creating an inventory product. So I select inventory, and from here I'll have to put the name of the item. So I'm going to create an item called we have a watch, Hasley watch, black. Okay, so this is an item, and I have put the name there. I can add from here an image of the item. I'm not sure I have the image in my computer. So here I can create categories. I can create different categories of inventory products, like in a jewelry store. I can have bundles, I can have watches, I can have chains, I can have don't know, all kind of items. I can segregate them in categories. Then when I'm creating the specific item, I can then put it under its category. Just gonna jump it for now. Yeah, I can put the initial stock. Be very careful. If you put the initial stock, don't go and make other purchases, because it will double the stock and it is going to affect your business. So if I have initial stock, I will definitely put it here. But if it happens that I will have to buy these items later, then I will definitely have to go and make a purchase order later. So I'm not just going to put anything as quantity on hand, as of which date, and other point, just going to allow it this way. Here I'll have to specify the inventory asset account so that it values the goods in question. I will just allow here stock asset, or you can create a current asset account to manage this item. Already you need to understand that QuickBooks is going to help you to easily manage your accounting. As a result, in the creation of these items, they're already putting all the type of information that are required for these items to sell and to produce the different financial reports with the different accounts. If I have any description to put for this item, I'm surely just going to put it here. Here I'm going to put the selling price. Selling price for this watch is 20,000 francs. And here I have the possibility to put the income account. Now you understand why I had to create my chart of account, in my chart of account, an account to track income from sales, so that I can come here and specify the account in question. So I'm going to select the income account for sales of product income. If this is not the income I want to add in the, I'm just going to take add new, and I will have the possibility to create a new account. Like I said, in QuickBooks you can create anything you want anywhere you are. So I can put purchase information description. If there is any here, I'm going to put the cost, just product cost 6,000 francs. And here I can specify the cost of goods sold account, so that it can cost as expense to match the revenue which will be made during sales. So if I have any other account I want to attach as cost of goods sold account, I can select it from here, or remove the select from the list, or add a new account. I can also specify a preferred supplier. A preferred supplier mean each time I want to buy this item, it will first of all put it, or select this particular supplier. However, I've not yet created the suppliers, but I could also take this drop down list and add in a new supplier and attach him as a preferred supplier. I'm going to take save and new, so I can have the possibility to create another one. Initial quantity on hand, I must put initial quantity on hand, it is required. So please enter a value for the required fields. So I'm just going to put 0 to C. Good. To say my quantity, initial quantity on hand is 0. As you can see, the item has been created and it is showing quantity on hand to be 0. Getting to the next item, I have just taken save and new, so QuickBooks will prompt me to create another item. From here, I can specify, I can change the type of item by taking any other item type, or I can continue with inventory. I'm going to create a sleeve watch diamond. From here I can specify the category. I'll put 0 in stock, and the asset account good, still 20,000, income account, and 6,000 as sales, as cost of goods. I'm going to take save and new in order to create another account type, something not quite right. Select as date. Okay, I have to select the date. Good. So from here I'm going to create a service. I'm not creating any product anymore. I'm now on the service. Like for example, which service can I easily put? I'll create a service for consultation, or yes, I'm just going to create any service. Here you can create any type of service. Is it training, teaching, might be if it's a hospital, consultation, anything that is a service, you can create it here and still specify the category, put any description. I'm going to put this service at 5,000, and I'll specify the income account here to be income from services, which is the account I earlier created. So from here I can put any purchase information, if at all I purchase this product or service from a supplier. If it happens that this service is being purchased from another person, or there is a direct cost that is attributed to this service, then you will want to put the cost of the service and equally specify the cost or the expense account associated to this cost. But for this service, it is just a service and there is no cost behind, so I'm going to unselect purchase information, so they do not ask me to forcibly put informations concerning the cost of this service. So just going to take save and close. So this is how you create items. By default, when you get to the product and service list, you're going to see some items already there, like watch, like hours, I mean. Still trying to validate this. The service was not created. I'm just going to edit this item in the list. I'm just going to edit this item, put consultation. Surely be network. So we're going to take save and close. Good. So you can see this is how you then create your items and the services. Each time you create them, they will definitely enter in this list, and from here you can come back and take new, or you can equally import the products or services. For you to import, if you take for example import, they will take you to another page where you have to download the sample file you will use to import your Excel file, so that your products, so that when you download this file, you will have to rearrange the columns you have in your external file, in your Excel file, to fit the one on this template. So that is it for the product. So if it happens that I need to buy these items, I can come to the new icon here, and I come at the level of suppliers, and I can enter a bill. I can enter a bill, or I can make a purchase order. If I make a purchase order, then I can later on convert it to a bill. The purchase order will be obviously a non-posting document. It is not going to affect the quantities nor the values of our goods. So here I can enter a bill, then pay the bill. Or I could just enter a check. If I enter a bill, it means that I am making a purchase on credit. Paying the bill will be paying the bill that was earlier entered. But if it happens that I am buying by cash and paying immediately, then I will write a check. In QuickBooks, checks will permit us to make a purchase or a record an expense directly with payment. So I will just enter a bill, then pay the bill. I will take bills. From here, I can specify the supplier from whom I am buying, and I can take the drop down list and just add new, or I could go to the gear icon, go to list, and create a supplier from there. So yeah, I'm just going to take add new, and I'll have the possibility to create a new supplier. I'm going to call the supplier Xinhua, which is one of our suppliers in China, and put all the details in terms of email, phone number, address, and so on. But the most important here was first of all the name. Just going to put the name and the take save. So first thing, I should select the supplier in question. His mailing address have appeared here, and here is the terms of payment. Obviously, if I am creating a bill, then there should be a terms of payment, the number of days I will have to pay this bill. If the terms are not clear enough, I can specify the bill date, which is surely today, and specify directly the due date. QuickBooks will start tracking our accounts payable. I can put a bill number if I want, and from here I can enter the items in question I am buying. Here you can see there is a section for category details. This is in case the bill I am entering is a kind of expenditure I am making for the business or acquisition of asset. But what I am doing now is not actually an expense I am entering, but it is an acquisition of goods. So I will close, or I will lock down the section for category detail, and instead take items detail, so that in this list I can have the possibility to have items I am buying. So as you can see, the two items are available, then I can place it here. You can see the service is not available here because we didn't activate the costing part of it. As a result, we cannot have it in a bill. I will specify this item, say I am buying here 20 units. As you can see, QuickBooks will help us tell the number of units that are available, and this other unit item 20 units, and it is going to multiply by the cost. If I want to edit the cost, I can edit it. Remember, I didn't take category details because, as you can see here, elements that will be available here will not be items but will be elements in the chart of account. So I hide this and I continue with items. I can put a memo. The memo is just a quick description that will help us to easily identify this document. I can attach a file, might be a PDF file or a contract we've had with the supplier in this, and it will help save this already in the system so that next time if I need this information pertaining to the supplier, might be the contract we did or any document we came up with, or even the bill the supplier actually sent to us, I can easily have access to it. From here, all I need to do, I see the total is 240,000. If I want to delete the line, I could just delete. If I want to get to a new line, I get to a new line, add new line. So what I will do, I will take a save and close. Here I have purchased some goods. What do I need to do now? I am going to, as you can see in the products list, this item and quantity on hand is now 20. If it happens that I want to sell these goods, then I can either use this vertical bar, take sales by customer or product or service, because where we are now is in the sales option, which we could also come to the get icon, take list products and services, or we could also come here to the left vertical bar and take all sales to see all the sales transaction. So if I take all sales, I can see all the sales transaction, which is now very empty since we've not made any sale. Here I can have the possibility to see all the customers in the business, but yet there is no customer. I am here on the sales tab. So from here, what I need to do is to create new customers so that I can have the possibility to have them in sales form. However, if I go to a sales form, I can go at the level of selecting the customer and create a new customer. Here, advantage is that I can import the customers or I can add a customer manually. I'm going to create a customer called other customers to track all those customers that will come to us, which we do not forcibly need to save them in the system. Put all your billing address, first name, title, suffix. I'm just going to save this, and if I want to create another customer in this list, I will have to take new somewhere here. Okay, this customer, these are his details here. So I'll first of all go back, and here this is the only customer existing. I can take new customer. From this list of customers, I can have a quick dashboard of the customers' activities in terms of how much we have on estimates, unbilled, unbillable income, overdue invoices, opened invoices, and recently paid. I can take add new to add another customer. I'm just going to call him say this is a customer. I can put his information. So what's going to happen is that I'm going to take great information we've had or we've gathered in order to create the different customers, so you see how it goes. So I'm going to look for some customers. So I'll get here and pick some customers we've had. Say I'm going to add this customer. I'm just going to copy, get to the QuickBooks and put his name right here. Let's say I take his email and put here. So here I can put all other informations of this customer, take, save, and close. Just going to create some other customers. So we are going to use these customers in order to effectuate some exercises. Say some customers buy some goods, we're going to enter them in the system. I can either come to new and take invoice. If I take invoice, then I am surely selling to this customer on credit. But if this customer is buying and paying immediately, I will have to create him a sales receipt. After creating an invoice, I will have to receive payment against the invoice the day the customer finally pays his bills. So I can either come to this new icon and have it here, or I come to the sales on the vertical bar, I go to all sales, then from here I can create an invoice, or I can get to the customer section and get to the customer to whom I want to sell, take the drop down list here and specify what I want to create for the customer. So for it to go easy for me, I'm going to create an invoice. So creating this invoice, I'm going to specify a customer, say other customers, and from here, if I select other customers, his details are going to appear in here, like he had no email. And from here I can specify the terms of payment for this customer. Say this customer is buying a watch, say one, and here is the price. Say he's buying for 19,000 instead, so I can have the possibility to edit the price. What happens down here, it has given the invoice number, and down here I can put a message, write a message for the customer on the invoice, write a message on the statement, or attach a document. Here, if we have granted a discount to this customer, we can actually specify the amount of discount. This option is appearing solely because when we created the company file, we went to settings and we made in such a way that we can have the possibility to offer discounts. So here I'm just going to allow the price to be 20,000. Then I can give a discount either in value or in percentage. Say in value, I'm going to give a discount of 1,000. So it will account for this 1,000 as a discount granted, which is going to be an expense in the cost of goods sold. So from here, deposit is for us to mention the amount the customer has advanced or deposited on the day he's making the purchase. Say this customer has deposited a sum of money as advance, we can put it here as deposit. It is going to deduct from the balance and we will know how much the customer is owing us as of now. So I could just allow it this way, then I take save and send. So with this drop down list, I can save and new, I can save and close, I can save and share link, then I can equally save and share on WhatsApp if my computer is connected to WhatsApp. So what I will do here is I will take save and send. I'm just going to take save and send. So okay, I can't send because this customer has no email, so I will just take save and new. Save and new will permit me to save this invoice number 1 and will permit me to get to invoice number 2. Say I am selling a service to this customer. I could come here at the level of items and the service could be consultation, since it is the only service we have in this list. Or if it is another service, I can have the possibility to take add new because the service does not exist in this list. So I can equally make a search from here if there are many items here. So let's say I am selling a QuickBooks training to this person. If at all this company do that, this is just to illustrate. So I'll take add new, I'll take service, and I'll put here QuickBooks training, and from here I'm going to put the cost of this QuickBooks training, meaning the price at which we sell it. So say 60,000, and I'll allow it as income from services, or if I want to attach it to another income account, I could specify it. If there is any purchase or any cost associated to the sales of this service, then I activate this option. But here I'm just going to take save and close. From here I have the possibility to specify if I need, I'll just allow here 1. It's a service, I'll just allow here 1. It will multiply by the rate and give this as 60,000. If this customer advances a sum of money, say 20,000, I will definitely put it there, and as you can see the balance due is now 40,000. So it will record this 20,000 as a payment, though this is an invoice and it is to be paid in the next, say, 15 days. So from here I can specify, when I start putting an amount that was deposited, I will be asked to specify the method of payment and the account in which the amount of money is deposited. So here I'm going to specify cash, and here I will specify the account or the bank account the money is deposited. So I'll just use the account cash and cash equivalents which already exist. But if there is a specific bank, then I can take add new, so I can add the bank where the money was deposited, either any mobile money operator. So we're just going to allow it on cash and cash equivalents. I'll take save and send, for example. So when I take save and send, it will take me to this page where I have the possibility to send it to the customer, and he will have the possibility to receive an email showing clearly what he has purchased from us and all the conditions already appearing in the email. This email template was built in the settings in the previous video. If you want to make a different message here, you can change it, and by default the customer's name will appear here. If I take save and send and close, is going to send this customer an email which will look like the preview you just saw. And now you can see in the customer's center, you can see that there are two opened invoice worth 95,000 and one recent transaction paid. If it happens that we pay partially our supplier, you can remember we created a bill and we had not paid for that bill. If it happens that we are paying our supplier partially or completely, after we must have created this bill, we will have to come and pay the bill. Paying the bill will be reducing our debts towards our suppliers. From here, you have to specify the bill you are actually paying, because all the bills that were earlier created will be appearing in this list. I'll specify this and I'll specify the amount I am actually paying. Here you can see the current account balance is 20,000, but the total to be paid is 240,000. Say I'm making a partial payment of 10,000. I could make it this way. It will show that the customer, the supplier, I'm still owing him 230,000, because I'll be making a payment of 10,000 and my cash balance will be 10,000. If I am not using cash to make this payment, I can specify the other account I am using, or add an account and put an opening balance inside. So I will take save and send. If I take save and send, it will send this payment to our supplier if at all the email was entered in that supplier. So just going to take save and close. The payment has been recorded. So if it happens that the customers buy some other goods, I will just, and the buy by cash, meaning not on credit, so I will not create an invoice. I will instead come and create a sales receipt. So when I create a sales receipt, they will ask me principally what is the customer, who is the customer to whom I'm selling, and here you will see already there is demand to put the account where we're making the settlement. So if, for example, I am receiving a check from this customer, then I'll have to specify the account or the bank account I am using to receive this check. So I'm just going to take add new so that I can create an account. This account is an account in the chart of account. I'm going to create an account for account type cash and cash equivalents bank. Then I'm going to call it here as a bank, say Eco Bank, and I can put a balance as at a specific date. If, for example, this bank, as I am creating this bank account in the system, it has an opening balance or a balance of money inside, so I could put it there. But I'm just going to allow it empty, take save and close. From here, I am making this sales of goods and the money is instead entering in this bank. So I will then specify the items currently selling. Say I am selling this watch. Say I'm selling 5 units, and this customer is equally buying might be a consultation, so I can add in a sales form both products and services, giving a total of 105,000. If there is any discount that was granted, might be in percentage of 1%, I'm just gonna put it there. But if there is no percentage or discount, then I'll just allow it this way. From here, everything is fine. I can put a message for to display on the sales receipt and a message to display on the statement. Take save and send. If I take save and send, it's going to send to this customer an email which will look like this, or the template, and I take say send and close. So this is a payment I've then made, or a sales I've made by cash or by let me say on settlement directly. If it happens that a customer sells some money, because here we have two opened invoices worth total 59,000, because we sold some goods on credit. We came and we created an invoice which shows that we sold some goods on credit. If it happens that this customer comes and makes payment, we'll come here to receive payment, and when we'll receive payment, we're going to receive payment from a specific customer. So I specify the customer. Say this customer, if he has any opened invoice, the invoice is going to show in here, and it can be clearly seen that this customer has an invoice which has not yet been paid. So I'll specify the invoice and mention the amount the customer is paying. If he's paying all the amount, I allow it this way. If he's paying partially, I specify the amount. Then I am to specify the account for which the customer is sending the money. So if I want to save and send the payment receipt to the customer, I'm surely going to take save and send. From here, it will come show the email, then I take save and close. What happens then if I buy goods and pay immediately, not on credit? We earlier saw how to create a bill, then how to make the payment of the bill. What if I buy immediately, I pay? I will have to come create check. In check, they will permit me to add the account I am using to make the payment. Already in the bank and cash and bank equivalents, there's just 50,000. I can specify the person to whom I am making the payment, which is solely this supplier. And from here, or I could create a new supplier. When I select this supplier, they will tell me here that there is an existing invoice from this an existing bill with this supplier with a balance of 230,000. So it is just a kind of reminder of all the activities that are going on with this very supplier. I could also come here and add a new supplier. Here I will have to specify the account I'm using to make the payment, and here I then have the possibility to enter the items I am buying by cash. So already, like I explained, here is category details. This is not in terms of item, but it is in terms of account. So I can enter here an expense account or an asset account I am buying or I am spending on. But in this case, I am not having any of this. I'm going to use the section for items and specify the item I am buying from this customer, from this supplier. So here I'm just going to specify or select this item, say 10 units. From here, under category detail, when creating this check, I can equally come to category and attach the expenses that were associated to this acquisition of goods. How do I go about that? I just open the category detail and specify the expense. Say there was transportation expense. I will just have to specify the transportation expense account in here. But since the transportation expense, the account does not exist, but there's something like a travel expense, selling expense, I could select it, or I could just create a new account for transport expense by specifying the account type being expense. I'll just specify or select this account and say that my bill we incurred an expense of 1,000. So it shows that in total the bill, the check is worth 61,000, and that's the total we have spent on. As a result, we've entered some items we've purchased associated with some expenses, because category zone is for expenses or items that are all in the chart of account, but the item detail is when we actually make purchases of goods. So just gonna take this, save and close, so as to close this document, and the payment has been recorded. These are some transactions we could do. You could also get some of those transactions on the navigation bar here, but most of them are in here. If you need to sign in some employees, you will take a single time activity, so you could enter the hours of work of your employees. So that's it loading. Here you will have to specify the date, the name, the customer for whom that employee is working for, the service the service the employee is rendering, and the time that this employee has spent in rendering this service to this customer. You can also take enter, start and ending time, so that it will automatically detect the number of hours that this employee has worked. So just gonna close this, and that is it for daily routine, daily operations. If it happens that we want to transfer some funds from one account to another, we could come here to new and take transfer. We could enter some journal entries. Like if I want to enter a journal entry, I'll just come here, take journal entry, and I'll have the possibility to specify the accounts I want to debit and credit already by putting a journal number, specifying the date of the transaction. I can say I can debit an account for asset. So say I'm acquiring some assets. Let me say, what asset am I going to put here? I'm just going to put or create a new asset account for transportation van. Say we bought transportation van, and I don't want to enter it in the form of a bill or enter it in an expense as an expense line, I'll just come here and add a new account for transportation van. Just going to mention that it is an asset account, and more precisely a fixed asset account. This is not the account for accumulated depreciation. I'm just going to take a vehicle. I'm just going to say just going to call it transportation van, for example. If there is original cost, I just put it there. It will automatically go and debit this account for transportation van to the credit of what, of opening balance equity as at the date I must have specified here. So just going to close this because I want to make the accounting entry myself. So I will debit this. Might be just going to take a simple example, 15,000 to the credit, for example, of the cash account by 50,000. So as a result, this is the accounting entry we've done. If I have any description to put there, if I have more accounting entries to put, I can enter them here, or I can equally import some accounting entries from MS Excel. From here, I will just take save and close in order to close this transaction. What if I want to enter daily expenses? Daily expenses are on this new icon, expenses. These expenses, if I enter here on this expense line, it will record the payment of this expense. But if it happens that I am just making the declaration of this expense in order to pay later, then I'll better enter a bill and enter the expense line under categories and not under items listed. Before I will definitely come and make the payment of these expenses. If I'm recording expenses and paying them immediately, then I will just take here expenses and I will specify the expense line, and I specify the person to whom we are making the expense. So I'm just going to create a new payee here, or let's say a vendor to whom we might be making a specific type of expense. I'll create a I could give the name directly, but I will just say something like landlord. Take save, and from here I'm going to enter an expense account for rent. So as it saves, I can come here and specify the payment method. As you can see, I am using a payment method, say cash, and I will have the possibility here to specify the account I'm using to make this payment. So I'm going to use this account because there's still some money there, and they say I'm paying rent 20,000. I'll have to specify here the rent account. As you can see, the rent here is in the form of a category, which is an account in the chart of account of type expense. I'm just going to use this account, or I could create a new one, specify the amount, and I just take save and close. From here, it is going to deduct 20,000 from the EcoBank account. Those are daily operations you can be doing in order to manage your purchases and sales in the business, and recording your expenses, tracking or managing your accounts payables and receivables. If you come to the expense tab, you can see the different expenses. If you come to the sales tab, you can see the different sales that has taken place. So in the expense tab, it will just show a quick overview of the different expenses that has been entered in the system for this business. So as you can see, these are all the bills and the checks and the expenses that were entered. You can come here to the supplier zone and create new suppliers or manage existing suppliers. You could also come here to sales and have the list of all sales. As you can see, all the sales are here, and they will tell you which one has been paid and which one has not yet been paid, which one are close, which one are to get due. For example, I've sold goods to this customer, it's to get due in the next 30 days. If it happens that I want to send this customer a reminder, I'll come to this drop down list and then take send reminder. If I take send reminder, it will automatically email him this day. Just know that also in the settings in our previous video, we saw how to automate the reminders, so that after 3 days the bill got due, or before 3 days the bill got due, and the day the bill gets due, it can send a reminding message. We could edit them, edit the template of all of these messages. Up here you will see a quick overview of the business. 19,000, one opened invoice, 165,000 were paid. You can get to the dashboard and see quickly what your business, how your business is doing, with some good charts that can help you easily analyze the situation of your business. So already here in terms of pounds, we can see that in the cash and cash equivalents there is nothing. In EcoBank is 24,000. Here it will give a small chart of the profit and loss, but it is showing it in terms of last month. I'm going to take it for example for this month. This month, for example, is going to show already in the chart the profit and loss of our business, showing all the expenses and all the incomes that were realized. Here, a small chart to express the different expenses. Here, the different invoices. So that is a quick chart or dashboard. I could also come to cash flow in order to check more in terms of the banking activities or the financial activities. So showing in total different balances in terms of the current cash balance. So what is the next thing after entering your expenses, revenues, making sales, making purchases? You need to check on your reports. Checking on your reports, you could come on this vertical bar and take reports. From here, you will have the possibility to check any type of report you need. You can come to the search bar and search the type of report you need. Say customer, you just start typing and it's going to filter the different types of reports that are related to customer. What I'm going to interrogate here, you can scroll down and check on the different types of reports you want to actually check. Here I'm going to open, for example, the profit and loss. If I open the profit and loss, it is in the favorite list. If I open the profit and loss, I'm going to see the financial situation or the financial position of this business in terms of its operational or operating activities. Here we can see in terms of income, we have discount given, income from services, and the income from products. Now you can see that the incomes are being specified based on how the chart of account was structured and how the items or products and services were attributed to them. It will help you have details in the different operations of your business, give you total income, the cost of goods sold, costing the products that were sold, the other operational expenses, giving the total expense, then giving us our net profit to the period for the period. So here I could print this or mail it to somebody. I could also check on this report in the cash basis if I am working on the cash basis, which is just going to be very different from the accrual basis. So if I select any of them, I will take run report in order to refresh the kind of information that are shown inside. I can have here the possibility to specify the period for which I want to print, or I could just come and specify the date here directly. So I'm just going to close this and go back, check, for example, on the balance sheet. I could check on the balance sheet and it's going to show the financial position of this business in terms of its assets and liabilities. We have the total account receivable, which is 9,000. This is what customers are owing us. EcoBank, stock assets. Stock asset represents the inventory stock we do have in our warehouse. You could check other type of reports like the audit log. The audit log, as the administrator, you have the possibility to check on the audit log and see every movement every user has done in the company file, like when different users logged in, logged out, the different kind of activities those users did. You can have the balance sheet, a comparison with previous operating years. You could check a summarized balance sheet or a summarized income statement. All the detailed type of statements in terms of income statement, balance sheet, and the cash flow statement are all visible here. You can check on the exact account you want to interrogate, like the trial balance, any type of transaction you want to check, you have the possibility to have it here. How do you then create users? By getting to the gear icon, you have the possibility to take manage users. If you take manage users, this is where you have the possibility to create new users. But you should remember that the number of users you can create solely depend on the package you're currently working with. Like presently, as this video is going on, the QuickBooks Plus, which is the subscription we're currently using for free for 1 month. This subscription can permit you to have 5 users plus the accountant. So you will not have the possibility to create more than those number of users. If you want to create or add a new user, you just take add new user, and from here you have the possibility to add those people who can be working or logging into your company file. When you're done, you just save it and it's going to be there. Here you can have the possibility to attach the accountant who is going to be work in your company file. And you can also hire an accountant from QuickBooks on the QuickBooks accountant platform. So that is it about a quick view of the QuickBooks software. If you want to import things, you can come here to import or export data. They will ask exactly for the type of data you want to import or export. Here you can change your subscription, either upgrade or downgrade, depending on the needs of your business. This is a quick overview of QuickBooks Online. QuickBooks can therefore help you manage any type of business in terms of expenses, revenues, and purchases, manage stock, different type of service activities. And this is where we're going to end for this short training. Make sure you practice, make sure you follow up, and make sure you create your own company file and manage it so you do not forget these skills.